Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the last Newsbeat show I ever do for 2019, you haters. I'm going to start bringing amazing content for 2020. We're going to talk about trading what you see, not what you're told. How to really get yourself in a really powerful mindset to make money in the market. We're going to talk about the power of algorithmic analysis, 3 overnight ideas that I took, share our algo levels, as well as my final thoughts. I am Mark Melnick. This is the Newsbeat Show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Newsbeat Show. I have so many great things to share with you today. I'm just going to go through my little disclaimer list here, and by watching this video, you are going to pause this, read that, and then hit play. Thank you so much for reading that. Um, I'm not even going to show it all fancy schmancy. I'm just going to go ahead and share with you our agenda today. And I have a very simple agenda talking about trading what you see, not what you're told, the power of algorithmic analysis, 3 overnight ideas I took, and more importantly, why, and some algo levels as well as my final thoughts. Now, this is kind of weird to say trade what you see. I think that could come with a lot of vagueness. Now, I think one of the things that I do well, I think there is a approximate infinite amount of ways to make money in the market. I think you could add a myriad, a plethora of differing indicators that will help you get to where you need to be as a trader. And I really think the reason why most traders fail is not that they overcomplicate things or make things too simplistic, but they just don't really believe in the trades that they're doing. Unfortunately, Wall Street has a way, and I'm going to teach you how to build and believe in the trades you do in, and that's going to actually help you make money, which is my only goal through this. Um, you thought I was like the universal formula for vomiting, showing you my webcam and all? No, not yet. Not until I'm accepted by the United States government for that. But anyway, going back to the markets here, a lot of traders like to trade what they're told. It usually starts with a series of things, and maybe at some points in my career, I was guilty of it. I basically come to you, I show you some form of math which I'll never be able to deliver on, like I make $3 for every $1 I lose, and I'm batting 50%. By telling you that, I'm already insinuating to you that losing is not only part of trading, which it is, but it's also okay. And there's nothing wrong with it. And that is not true. And anyone who tells you that is sugarcoating the obvious. Anybody who talks like that doesn't make real money trading. And if they do, it's for a year or two and they won't make it afterwards. I'm telling you, losing is not okay in the market. It's okay, but it shouldn't be interpreted as okay. It's kind of weird. It's one of those things where if you go out to the beach 1,000 times in your life and one day a seagull craps on your head, it's not really okay that the seagull crapped on your head, but it is expected that there was a chance that a seagull could crap on your head when you were at the beach. When you're in trading, analogically, the same thing applies. It's okay that you could come and take a loss in the market, but it's not okay that it happened. And I will explain the difference of doing that and how to actually trade what you see. So, one of the things that I think I do better than anyone else in the industry is teach traders how to figure out what they do well and give them very simple things to do well. And even though you have people out there who say different things and say, well, I don't like one of the stupidest things people say is like, well, I don't do it and I make money. It's kind of funny when people come to me and they're like, Mark, what do you think about Fibonacci? They ask me. And you know what I tell them? I tell them the same thing. I say, you know what I think about Fibonacci? I think if you're able to make money off it 70% of the time or more and make as much money when you're right as opposed to when you're wrong or more, it's great. And if you can't do it, you either have to figure that out or drop it. And that is my answer to everything. Now, people that tell you that news doesn't work, um, it's very unfortunate because I highly believe it's misleading. Do you need news to make money? No, but if you want to start batting as high as Newsbeat Live members, successful Newsbeat Live members, you better incorporate these sort of things into your trading alongside many other things. So it's very simple. I started the morning. Remember yesterday on yesterday's video, I came to you and I said, my day's most likely going to be done in 1 to 2 minutes. It was. It was. By 9:32 a.m., even though I did more trades and made a little more money, my day was over. You might be like, what? How did you know? Well, besides the strategy works over 90% of the time for me, I will show you. So in the morning, I started off by asking the Newsbeat live room, what is your favorite one and done? And if you don't know what a one and done is, um, I don't even know how many videos on the internet that share with you what a one and done is. Look it up. I'm not here to explain to you what it is. You're simply looking for the first 1 minute candle to break up if you're bullish or break down if you're bearish. That's it. Here's a 1 minute chart of NEO, name with massive volume, beautiful earnings. Analyze the earnings, fundamentally compared it to Tesla, fundamentally compared it to Tesla coming in China. Had a long speech about it this morning. Why? Just to buy through 297 and get to 313. Now you might look and say, 16 cents. What's the big deal? With that 16-cent move, the $3 calls moved up 50% in value. 50% in value. If you put $3,000 on the line in NEO in a $3 name, $3,000, you could either get 1,000 shares, you could make 100, 150 bucks, let's call it, or you could have taken $3,000 worth of option calls and potentially made $1,500. $1,500 on what, ladies and gentlemen? On this one little 16-cent move here. That's it. No, I'm not sitting here talking about the fact that NEO ran all the way up to $4.87 from where we bought it in the morning. I am not that person who's going to tell you in hindsight what you could have done. There are a lot of traders who left runners on and crushed it today. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is what most traders can do, and that's this. It's a 1 minute chart as you see here. 2 1 minute bars. Goes up, buy through the top, you sell, you shut down your system. I can't because I'm a broadcaster, but if you're a trader, you shut down your system, your day is done. I know it almost looks too easy, but the people who are following me on my challenge are actually noting how easy it is. The people who took my 10 cents challenge, people who I basically say try a one and done and make 10 cents and log off for the day, they are chipping away their psychological FOMO. They are chipping away their psychological toxicity. They're fortifying their strategy. They're fortifying the foundation for future trading when they're going to be ready to do different things. And then last in line, they actually made money. Do not underestimate what a 16-cent move in a NEO is. That can make you 50% of your money. Ladies and gentlemen, do not underestimate that. Granted, you could have made stupid more money had you held it for 5 more minutes, but again, I'm not even going there. That's all I'm going with. Now, the other name we were watching was Amazon for a one and done long to buy through the top of the first 1 minute bar. And if you were watching Amazon, this is what Amazon did for the break of the 1 minute bar. Again, Amazon opened here. This was the first 1 minute bar. It breaks through 1874. It's 1881.34. Jumps up $7.34 within 60 seconds. Maybe you're good at holding stocks, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe you're not. This strategy befits you. Maybe you have the patience of a saint when it comes to trading. Maybe you are phenomenally impatient and impulsive. This trade works for you. Maybe you are just trying to make $1 off Amazon and you didn't catch 7. You're not shedding any tears at night. The reason why the Newsbeat live service works is I literally take all your weaknesses and incorporate strategies that are meant to defeat it. I find it hilarious when these traders put out all these educational videos and study courses and, all this stuff. And I'm sitting there and thinking to myself, 95, 98, 99% of traders are never going to be able to absorb enough to the point where they get profitable. It might make sense. You might be able to show your results. I could show you my results. If I showed you my results, it would blow the socks off your behind. But what does that mean? What does that mean for you? Nothing. It's useless. I don't need to fortify the legitimacy of my strategies by showing you a large P&L. In fact, it does you more harm than good because it puts you in a situation of blind faith. And I don't want you to be blind. I want you to trade what you see. Let's hit that little underline button. Trade what you see. That is what I want you to do. So you're seeing these one and dones, and yes, I'm sure they worked on other names, but guess what? The 2 names I picked today, they worked out beautifully because I follow the news. I follow the volume. I follow the sector. I follow everything. I follow the algorithmic trend lines, and I put this all together to pick 2 names that you could finish your day in, often by 9:32, maximum 9:33, 9:34 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Basically, your day is over before the first 5 minutes of trading. It sounds too good to be true. But there are people who are batting 100% over the past 2 months with this strategy. I'm not even that good. I'm in the 90s. But my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, it's not that hard. You make it hard. You want to do other things. You know what? You are going to do other things. Can I build the foundation for your self confidence? Can I literally show you what it feels like to make money for a month straight? You know how you're going to feel? You don't. Let me tell you what it feels like to make money every single day for a month. It feels effing amazing. The numbers don't even matter. You're up 1,000, 2,000, 100, 200, 10,000, 20,000. It doesn't matter. Yes, it matters in terms of Mark. Well, of course it matters. I have my bills coming in. I get that. What can I do for you? Can I build you up as a human being? Professional basketball players. Yes, they make millions and millions of dollars, some of them more, obviously, tens of millions. When they started playing basketball, were they getting paid or were they working on their foundation? They worked on their foundation for sometimes 15 to 20 years before they actually were getting paid to play. I can build your foundation in probably 30 days. I could build your foundation in 30 days if you are willing to allow me to help you. That's up to you. I could pave the road. I could paint the picture. I could tell you exactly what you need to do in order to achieve it. At the end of the day, I'm not pushing the buttons behind your keyboard. When I tell you you need to make money and log out for the day, and I look after the first 5 minutes how the number of members in the room just suddenly drop. Like, it's like a few hundred people just left. What happened? Oh, they made their money. Thank you, Mark. Thanks. Have a great day. Have a great week. Locked out. Made this, made this, made this, made this. I'm done. That could be you. And if when my son, I'm going to let him trade when he's 6. He's 4 years old. He's going to be 5. My son will be a day trader at 6 years old. I don't know why I came out with that number. I just need him to have a little bit more. I want him to get a little bit better at video games before I let him trade. I know, sounds funny, right? It's true. Um, he's like, I'll always be able to put him and his friends in place. I know, like, when he gets older and his friends come over with their video games all cool, like, I'm gonna come out on Daddy and just like lay the smack down on all of them. And he's gonna respect that and he's gonna learn from that. But that's another story. I'm gonna teach my son this strategy. My son will be a Newsbeat bandit. My son will trade for 2 minutes a day. I'll open up his account. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a Melnick drip plan investment for him. I'm going to take 90% of the money he makes and invest it himself. He's going to put himself through college, not me. He's going to put himself through college, not me. And I'm just telling you right now, trading what you see is so much more important than trading what somebody else tells you. Don't fall for don't fall for my shiny objects. Don't fall for my P&L. Don't fall for anyone else's P&L. Just look at the chart and see if it makes sense to you. So let me ask you, if I told you that I was going to buy through the first 1 minute bar of NEO before the market opened, watching NIO, that you could buy through this first 1 minute bar and try to make 10 cents, do you think that you could do that? Do you think that you could do that? How about on Amazon? Do you think you can make 10 cents on Amazon? It's actually almost impossible to make 10 cents on Amazon. You couldn't really make less than 2 points on this move because it moved up too quickly. But I rest my case. Do you think you could scalp a dime off of Amazon by buying through the top of this bar? And yes, people with $1,000, $2,000 accounts are trading Amazon, and they're doing it with options. So don't tell me about how expensive Amazon of a stock is, and don't tell me of how cheap NEO is. Okay? Can you make a dime off NEO? Can you make a dime off Amazon? Right in the morning, if I gave you those two names to focus on. And if your answer is yes, I bet I can help turn you into a phenomenally wealthy and successful trader. And what would I bet on it? My time, my energy, my effort. That's what I would bet on it, which is the most valuable thing that I have. Next on the radar, I took a few overnights today, 3 overnights, and just to show you, um, here it is, I guess. Right before the close, bought some shares of FCell. You could see 353. Bought some shares of FCell. Bought some Neo $4 calls, and bought some right here. Oh, stupid advertisement. Bought Savara, SVRA 5. Just very simple. Five of the $5 calls in Savara, with some fuel cell shares and some Neo calls as well. Now, if you look at the 3 overnight trades I took, Savara, again, I may or may not lose money on these trades. Here's Savara. This is going back to trading what I see as opposed to what you think. Here's Savara, SVRA, silly, stupid small cap company. I have no idea what their drug does or whatever. I really don't care. Bought this one. After hours, it's up to 570. Right now, as we speak, it's up tremendously percentage-wise after hours. Right now, as we speak, it's up over 16%. The next stock I took overnight was NEO. Closed at 372, trading right now at $3.99. NEO is up 7.8% right now after hours. Not only that, I took Fuel Cell off a member's recommendation in the room, and that closed at $1.68, and it's up to $1.90 right now. Fuel Cell right now, as we speak, is up 13.1%. Those are the 3 overnight trades I did. Now you might say, okay, why did you take it? And I'm going to show you, and I'm going to be doing a longer video with the room, introducing further parameters for this overnight strategy. But I want to share something simple with you. When you gapped up and held the upper part of the range, what happened last time? Right over here, you gapped up, you held the upper part of the range. You literally opened up 26 cents higher the next day. Right over here is the last time that happened where it gapped up and went. Last time you gapped up nicely was right over here where you closed at 78 cents. You opened at 77 the next day. You would have lost a penny. That's fine. Here's another day right here where you gapped up. You closed at 71 cents. You opened at 75 cents. I know I'm using a sub-dollar name and 4 or 5 cents doesn't sound like a lot, but I think I showed you in Neo what 16 cents on a $3 name could look like. Keep things in that perspective. I'm just using this as a stupid example. You could apply this to Amazon, Netflix, etc. Okay? But look at that. You closed at 71. You opened up at 75 the next day. Right over here was a day that you gapped up. You gapped up from 45 to 48 cents. You closed near the top end of the range. You closed at 54. You closed at 81 cents the next day. Another day where you gapped up and held. Closed at 81 cents, opened up at 89 cents, 10% higher the next day. So what am I seeing here in Fuel Cell? Remember what I said, trade what you see, not what you think. Don't worry about candlestick formations, moving averages. It's fine if there's something behind it, but usually you're not going to bat over 50% with it. And the garbage that people show you behind things like that, and Fibonacci's and all these things, which can work and do work, but the garbage people show you usually will not work. And if it doesn't work for you and it works for them, it's because you're not trading what you see. So right over here, I'm saying, okay, fuel cell gapped up 17 cents today from yesterday's close, $1.27 close yesterday, as you could see on the top left. Opened up at $1.44 and it moved higher. That's all I needed to see to say I'm probably not going to lose a lot by buying some fuel cell here. Lo and behold, the stock actually hit $2. I have no idea. Maybe I'm down money tomorrow in it. But at the moment, it's up over 10%. If you follow what I just said and you look at Savara, for example, I asked myself, when was the last time Savara gapped up big and held? Where it gapped up big like it did today. It literally opened, up over 100% this morning, gapped up and held the top end of the range. When was the last time that happened? Let's just go back and look. Let's just go, right over here. Here's a big gap up. Look at that right here. Closed at 942, opened up at 1085, opened up, didn't even close at the top end of the range, but closed green, opened up the next day 36 cents higher. Right over here was a nice gap up, gapped up about 5-6%, closed near the top end of the range. Only gapped up a nickel, but still gapped up. It's good risk reward. Even if I'm wrong on this, I don't see myself losing a lot of money. It's actually a fairly new issue. The stock IPO'd back in January 2018. So when I see something like this, where you gapped up massively, did hold the top end of the range, by the close, of course, why not try some Savara calls? Right now, as I speak, the stock is up 80 cents. Right now, as I speak. Why not do that? Do I really care what it does tomorrow? If it plummets or goes up or down, I'll just sell it in the morning. You think I give a crap about this company? Think I give a crap about Neo? I actually do. And that's going to lead to a bonus segment right now. But the point I'm trying to make for you, ladies and gentlemen, is that you should trade what you see. I want to discuss Neo because I actually do give a crap about this one. So Neo reported earnings this morning. All right, we are focusing on today. I made 2 good trades in it, then took it overnight, which looks, at least at the moment, like there's a good chance it'll work. They announced a loss of 33 cents. That beat the loss of 34 cents expected. Revenues of 256.9 million versus 230 million? Really? You beat on revenues by over 10% for a little crappy Chinese electric car maker? Not only that, they said next quarter they're going to make $393 million. That's ahead of Wall Street's $289 million expected. I'm sorry. You think you're going to make $104 million more than what Wall Street expected? You think you're going to make a little less than 50% more than what Wall Street expected on your revenue. Chinese people or residents, when say Chinese people, people who live in China, which are almost autonomously Chinese people are buying electric vehicles, ladies and gentlemen. And these Neo cars, they look really sexy. They look really sexy. Now, why am I bringing this up? Because Tesla is going into China. And we saw what Tesla was doing after their announcement. You want to know the first time, and I did a video on this, the first time Mark Melnick has ever liked Tesla's earnings was right over here for the first time after their last earnings report. And I want to take you through those Tesla earnings, draw the correlation between this and NIO, and explain to you why NIO is going to go higher. So Tesla last reported, was it October 23rd, I believe? Let's go ahead and look it up. Yep, they reported October 23rd, and Tesla made $1.86 a share. That beat the loss of 42 cents expected. They had 6.3 billion in revenues. That was short of the 6.33 billion in revenue. And what they were doing was the thing that Tesla did well was they were reducing their costs massively. They were reducing their cost massively across the board to turn their sales into more profitable sales. If they're paying less to make the same vehicle, they'll make more money. And ever since Tesla gapped up and closed at 299.68 after earnings, let's round it off to 300 bucks. The stock rallied to $435 last Friday. Now here's NIO. NIO is worth approximately $1 billion for every dollar, meaning $3.72. It's worth about 3.7 billion right now, approximately, as we speak. So it's a relatively small company to what is Tesla about? I'm going to guess right now, 78 billion. Let's look it up. Tesla 75 billion. Fair enough. Tesla's a $75 billion company. This is a $3 billion company. Now, Tesla is breaking into China. I want to show you the sexiness of a Neo automobile. Some of them look like, I don't know, some of the vehicles look like what's wrong with this. Like I'm not really sure what that is supposed to be. Like, what is this supposed to be? This is like this. Is that all right? Yeah, the wheels look cool, but bro, you have no windows and on the side of your. Is this supposed to be something autonomous? I don't know. Maybe. But let me show you some other cars that don't look like. Look at that. Look, Wikipedia. Look at this. Look at that car. Look at some of these Neo vehicles. And they even have normal looking cars like these spiffy SUVs, things that look like Corvettes and Ferraris. Look at that. That looks like a Dodge Viper, like a futuristic version of a Dodge Viper. Look at that bad boy. Look at this. Look at that car. They're sexy. That it has sex appeal. Looks like you're driving an extremely expensive automobile. Then of course, it's run on electric, so that adds some more sex appeal to it. The bottom line is Chinese people are buying more Neo vehicles. Period. With raising revenues like that, they're expecting a lot more China consumers. Now, Neo is a recent IPO. It IPO'd back on September 12th, 2018. This is the first time ever I'm excited in this one. I was watching Candy for a while, which I did like. An idea that never panned out. Yet, at least. Didn't pan out at the time. I actually lost. Excuse me. Kids are sick. Daddy's sick. Actually, lost some money on this one over here. And Candy never picked up. But Neo, they're going to compete with America. And by America, I mean Tesla. And by Tesla, I mean an American electric car company. If there's one thing that China always does, And I even said this when I said Starbucks was going to $100 and it hit $99.72. Made a phenomenal pre-earnings call on Starbucks, citing that they were going to be strong in China, and that's exactly how the call went. So what happened after Starbucks blew up in China? All of a sudden, all of a sudden, there's this company, a China coffee company, Luckin Coffee, and and it hit all-time highs today. There's one thing that China was not able to duplicate that the US does outside military warfare at this moment. There's one thing China was unable to duplicate when it comes to business: film. Chinese actors, actresses never went international to the extent that US actors and actresses in movies went. You could watch Iron Man in every single country. You cannot watch Chinese action movies in every single country. They're just not popular. So what did China do? They bought out Hollywood. They Legendary, remember Legendary? They Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was one of them, and a bunch of others afterwards. And all these Chinese companies started buying out filmmakers in Hollywood because if you can't beat them, you buy them. With Tesla opening up an electric gigafactory right now in China, the next company that wants to take them head on is NIO. And even though they maybe have enough money to last 10 to 14 months from this point, they're going to be able to raise capital. What do you think, just to be honest about it, what do you think China's going to do with Tesla's technology once they actually open up a factory there? I'll give you one guess. And once they obviously adapt and take that technology and start applying it to Chinese automakers like NIO, this company is poised to be the number one competitor of Tesla in China. And with China having so much smog, China is one of the biggest offenders, polluters in the globe. What are they, second to India, if I had to guess? Second to India? Their carbon emissions are disgusting to the point where you ever see the Chinese people walking around with masks in their city? You ever see that? How many times do you see that in the US? How many times do you see that in the US? Chinese people just walking around wearing smog masks because the air will kill them. Look it up. Just look up, China smog masks. And you'll see people just walking around the street with the surgical doctor's mask to block out pollutants. So yes, electric vehicles in China, considering they're not even remotely close to the green initiatives the United States has, which again, we lead the world in terms of population density and contributions monetarily towards green programs. I'm not talking about a country with or a city of 2,000 people who do everything green. I'm not referring to them. But China is going to have to do something about their smog because otherwise they're going to have, God forbid, for lack of a better word, birth defects. The birth defects in China have been massive. Birth defects in China are far more prevalent than they are in the United States. And why do you think people, why do you think they invest so much in modern warfare? To protect your citizenry, to protect your country, to protect your land, to protect your people. The smog is one of the biggest killers of Chinese people in China. So if you want to go further down the line, yes, there is a reason why electric vehicles should proliferate in China, and this is going to be the number one company that goes with them. This may or may not be last video of 2019. I may do a video tomorrow, and if I do, um, you know, it'll be there, and I'm sure you guys will see it. But I do want to encourage you one last thing. I promise you, trading can be successful whether you make it hard, whether you make it easy, whether you use 20 things, one thing, 30 things. Whatever you do, whether it's me or someone else, don't blindly follow a methodology. Make sure you look at it, compare it with your own notes, and make sure it makes sense to you. If you don't do that, you're practically guaranteeing psychological toxicity. If you just blindly jump in without understanding it, you will suffer more of a psychological blow on a loss than you would if you did understand it and took that same loss. The reason why the Newsbeat Live Room is so successful is that we create simple strategies that the majority of traders can be part of and follow. That is what makes us so successful, is that we can help the majority of people who come in through our front doors. And for 2020, I'll be unveiling exclusive for Newsbeat Live members overnight strategies. Will be free with your subscription, of course. Will be in your portal. And as much value as I could bring you guys, it doesn't nearly equate to the value that I could bring a Newsbeat Live member who I have access to all the time. I mean, even if you saw me over this weekend, I'm constantly in the room answering questions, answering issues, answering things for traders at all points of the day. I just literally tweet out to you guys. Twitter is no longer a paid service. It's free for you as a Newsbeat Live member. I do try to bring you guys as many things as free as possible. Granted, not everything is free, but I'll always try to over deliver on everything that you get. So lots of things are free. At least for me, my service, I'll comfortably say I probably offer more free things than anyone else in the industry, simply because I genuinely care about your success. 2020 is upon us. I want you to be successful because I believe if you are successful and you join the Newsbeat Live Room and you surround yourself with more successful traders, when it comes time to give to charities, I'm going to tell you to donate to a charity, and the odds of you doing it are going to increase substantially. And I know that sounds maybe corny or cliche or stupid, but it's true. The difference that we were able to make in the world through the hundreds and hundreds of charities that we've donated to is substantial. We are here to make the world a better place. We are here to help you take care of yourself and your family. And once you get to that point, give a portion of your profits to good causes in which you believe in. And I do believe in karma. I do believe when you do good for others, it comes back to you. I was speaking to a guy that manages a small fund, a little less than 100 million in Manhattan, and he asked me, he's like, Mark, what is the number one thing you think you did that helped you be successful in 2019? And I said, give money. And he laughed at me and he said, it doesn't make sense because you give money, you lose money, right? Like if you give money, you have less money than you did before. How did that actually help you? And I didn't just say karma, but I simply said my urge to give and help was my motivation for success. And if I didn't have that urge and motivation for success, I'm not sure I would have succeeded, at least in the way that I have. And I know some of you might be watching, you're like, Mark, that's a huge assumption. It's not true or whatever. I believe it with every ounce of my being. And I will tell you that when I started to give more, I started to make more. And I promise you, it wasn't a random coincidence over my 20-year trading career. It was my honor and humble pleasure serving you for the year of 2019. I hope you guys enjoyed this Newsbeat show. Slap the like button if you did. I'm going to go ahead and share with you some algo levels because how? Why not? Did you know today, just real quick, did you know today we called the dead bottom of the market, the dead bottom of the Qs in real time? The Qs we said would bottom out at 211.19 if it hit algo support right over here. It hit 211.16. Did you know we called the dead bottom of Amazon today in real time? We basically said it had to flush through our algo level here right through 1844, and the stock went down to 1840. $4 is a bottom in Amazon if you didn't know. Did you know that we said that Apple was going to bottom for the day as soon as the Qs broke that level? And we called out that it was going to happen before it happened. And at 10:15 to 10:20 a.m., where Apple actually bottomed here, you'll actually notice between 10:15 and 10:20 a.m., that's exactly where we called the bottom of the Qs, and it worked out perfectly. Did you know today that we called the dead bottom of Facebook when we said Facebook was going to bottom out at 203.94, and it actually hit 203.90, bounced, and never looked back for the entire day? Did you know we did all those things? Maybe you want tomorrow's levels. Maybe you want them now. Maybe I'll give it to you now. And by maybe, I mean definitely. Here are tomorrow's levels today. These are the last algo levels for 2019. But good news awaits for you on the horizon. More algo levels shall come for you in 2020. I think 2020, if you did struggle this year, I humbly believe 2020 is a year in which if you let me crush your foundation, if you're a losing trader and you allow me to just crush down your foundation, you know how they have like those recycling things and they turn the cars into like these like little metal boxes by crushing it on every angle. If you allow me to do that and dispose of your old system and try to actually create a new one for you, I humbly believe that you could be a successful trader. Making money is not the difficult part about the market. Overcoming your psychological toxicity and applying the right strategies, now that is what it takes to be a successful trader. Let me help you along that process. It was my pleasure serving you along this journey. Happy trading, make money, and I will see you guys tomorrow on the Newsbeat live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful evening.